Recording stuff is so much fun, right, guys?
It is.
Isn't
Let me
it just
tell
so
you,
much
nothing ever
fun?
goes wrong.
Nothing ever just fucking goes wrong.
So we were recording part 4 of Resident Evil 4, and OBS just like stopped recording at the beginning. Didn't let me know. We just kept going for an hour. I'm just very sad.
Yeah,
This
it's
also
just...
happened to. This also happened to Resident Evil 8 in the dollhouse, which was the one we were almost looking forward to. It was gonna be funny, haha. Watch Zach get scared by the thing in the dollhouse that I won't spoil just in case for now, but.
Yeah.
Anyway, Alex said he could speedrun Portal pretty well, so he's gonna play Portal, and we're gonna complain about how playing video games for the internet is really hard.
Pretty much.
Well, we will complain about our first world problems while Alec plays not just Portal, but Portal RTX. Ooh, it's fancy.
Yeah, look at the glowy stuff. Look how glowy it is! Yeah!
It's about time Alec recorded something for the channel. Actually, he's recorded a couple things. Well,
Yeah, Resident Evil
mostly
6.
Left 4 Dead. Mostly Left 4 Dead 2.
Yeah, and like Resident Evil 6, yeah.
Oh yeah, Resident Evil 6, yeah. We're not counting the first 3 videos on the channel. Those don't count.
Oh, yeah, those don't really count. Those are like really old.
Those are old
Yeah.
and really, really horrible.
Yep.
But yeah,
Alex
Utah's
money hopping. It's his
fuck right now with
favorite.
this
It's his
gameplay.
favorite.
Yeah, I'm getting the vibe that this is one of the failed test subjects. Like they did something to her brain before they threw her in here.
Alec, are you gonna get all the radios?
Yeah, I'm getting all the radios! Okay.
Yeah,
Sorry, I had
that's
to do
why I
that.
said it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess we could treat this as an ABZ update video. I mean, I don't know what there is to update, but you know, update videos, those are things Let's Players do, and we're Let's Players, right, guys?
Yeah. We're very professional in every single way possible.
We did finish, I mean, what is it? We finished 2 Let's Plays on this channel. We finished RE7, and we finished Conquer.
One of those we liked, the other we did not.
Yeah.
But you know, we don't have a real video where we introduce ourselves properly. I mean, I guess if you've seen the channel, you could probably get a sense of who all of us are. What the? Did you nearly die?
Yeah, because the camera fell on me, but whatever, who cares?
Yeah. I care. The viewers care, Alec. I promised them perfect gameplay.
I mean, I'm speedrunning right now. Like, I proved it. I know what I'm doing.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, there's not much to introduce. I mean, I'm Brandon, that's Zach, and the one playing is Alec, and we are, well, Alec and Zach are brothers, and I'm their friend, and we started doing Let's Play videos in 2013 on an old channel that must not be named, and now we're doing them on a new channel that, thankfully, I believe I can say honestly that we have turned out a better product now for what it's worth.
Yeah, I mean, I look back at the Conquer one and I'm back and forth on it, but I don't want to say this. I don't want to say it's truly our fault. Conquer is just a miserable fucking game.
Yeah, that
And you can tell because we are miserable throughout the entire playthrough.
Oh no, I mean that's how I feel about our Resident Evil 6 Let's Play, Zach, is that it's not exactly fun, interesting commentary, but it's an excellent, like, showing of what Resident Evil 6 is like in the same way that Conquer is a good showing of how frustrating and horrible Conquer is.
Honestly,
Yeah, okay,
I think
yeah,
with
that is
RE6,
true.
I had more fun editing it and giving it titles to the videos than actually fucking playing the game.
Yeah, absolutely.
I should have done that with Conquer. I should have added titles to the... Because like, I like it when Let's Plays do that, yet for some reason, I never do it myself. I don't know why.
No, editing
maybe...
Chris Redfield punching walls and causing meme explosions to happen was 100% funnier than anything in the actual game.
I mean, yeah. And also just the edit I made for the one video, too. God, I still feel proud of that one edit. Like, the one where I made the little animation. The RPG guy family and all that. That was a lot of fun.
That was pretty good.
Yeah.
And I enjoy your guys' RE6 playthrough more than I can enjoy the Conquer one. But then again, if I'm in anything, it makes me immediately hate it because I hate myself.
I thought you
Nah,
guys.
there's some things that I like.
Yeah, I'd say that you gave a lot of good commentary on Conquer, Zach, because you're the one that knew the game, so there was all this anticipation that I didn't have towards what was going to happen in it.
Oh yes, there's the fucking bull part especially because I'm like that's the moment that the game switches into something terrible.
Oh yeah.
Because like the first parts of the game are not that harsh, and that's one thing I'd like. That's one thing I'd like for our Let's Play channel to be. You know, I don't want us to just be the guys that just shit on everything, because you know, like
I feel like that's
a
a
lot
lot
of people
people's
be like,
gimmicks.
yeah, it's just very easy to shit on things, and you know, I'm not saying I'm not gonna shit on anything, but I also like being fair.
Well, Zach,
And
it's also how you get the most views and success. People, negativity is a wonderful, wonderful pile of shit that draws maggots.
Yeah,
I have noticed that when
let's
people
all talk
compare
about
like a positive video to a negative video, the negative video always usually gets a lot more views.
yes, 100%, 150. Actually, no, like 300%. Which is a shame, but I can't say I'm any better. I'll usually watch a negative video over a positive one, but I am trying to switch that around, but there's usually something a little bit more entertaining. You can make jokes about something you don't like. I mean, you can make jokes about something you do like, but those are usually not as fun.
I mean,
I'm
it's
someone
the
who...
same thing with my podcast, Zach, my movie podcast. The most successful episode of it currently in terms of ratings is an episode that's an hour and 10 minutes long that's just me and my friend Alex bitching about the final Jurassic World movie. So
I mean,
people like that kind of stuff.
I did have fun with that one. You know, the dinosaurs can't eat Chris Pratt. But like, you see, you wouldn't get a line like the dinosaurs can't eat Chris Pratt out of a good movie.
Yeah, yeah. The dinosaurs can eat Chris Pratt because they know his contract. They know he can't eat because he can just hold up his hand, and you know that makes them stop because his movies are awful. And I just got out of seeing the movie 65, which was also a big budget dinosaur movie, but it was all right.
Yeah, it was just okay.
I went into it really hoping for something that was going to finally be the next dinosaur franchise to start taking some of the not so deserved success of Jurassic World away. But no, it was all right, not bad. There's things I like in it, but I feel like dinosaur movies, there's just not enough of them, and there need to be better ones out there. The concept, the creatures, you could do so many amazing things with dinosaurs, but instead they use them for nostalgia bait shitty Jurassic Park ripoffs.
Those sell, Brandon, because
yeah, they
everyone
do.
loves nostalgia.
Shell is
put the
agreeing with you
Jurassic
guys right
name
now.
on them, and people go see them. So.
Shell has base movie tastes. But yeah, that's the thing I want with our channel is I want us to come off as fair. Because honestly, I think we're all pretty forgiving for the most part when it comes to games. Although I guess we're all forgiving and not so forgiving on like different things.
Oh yeah, of course.
But like, you know, that's usually how
Well, rip.
I am disappointed.
God damn it. Oh no. I'm disappointing. No.
Cringe, Alec. Dying here is not based.
I just brought Dishonor to the ABZ channel.
Dishonor on you, dishonor on your cow.
Family, dishonor on your cows.
I feel like we have to have one main point, but I don't know what that main point should be.
I don't even know what to title this video because it's technically not keeping BZ because because Alec is here too, and I mean technically we did the Sonic Lost World stuff, but
I mean Alec being keeping BZ. We shouldn't lock him out just because his name starts with a weird letter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I was thinking of titling this oh fuck. Keeping BC not recording Resident Evil 4 or something like that.
Yeah.
So, I had a better title in mind, but I lost
It
it.
sounds like a sensational article. Like, just being like, we are not doing it anymore. And
We
it's just
gave
like,
up
I
on
mean,
Let's
no,
Play.
I want to. I fucking love Resident Evil 4, but OBS doesn't.
It's fucking horseshit. OBS is garbage. I used to like the software, and now it just like makes me like, I just hate it.
Yep.
It just fucks up. I swear to God.
I think
I'm
one day
technically
we
using
should
it right now
do
to
a...
record this, but it should be fine.
I mean, like, OBS has worked perfectly for us. We've used, except for the first 3 videos, which were all using a capture device, the Elgato.
Right.
Every other video is recorded in OBS, and it works perfectly. But one part of Resident Evil 8 just got completely fucked. And then, for whatever, like, we've been having problems with OBS, like, for the entire RE4 playthrough. It's been acting goofy. This video really does truly exist just because we're this frustrated that playing video games for the internet should not be this difficult. It really should not be this annoying.
Yeah.
You just hit record and you talk into a microphone. I mean, yes, there's skill involved because, you know, you got to be charismatic, you got to be likable.
Oh no,
you
guys, do we have a
gotta
skill
know
issue?
when and when not to speak.
Do we have a skill issue? Oh,
yeah,
no.
I think we have a skill issue.
Yeah. Oh no. Ow. Fuck.
Speaking
I have
of,
a skill issue. Yeah.
Alec, how many things are gonna bonk you in the head? Or shell?
As many times as it makes it entertaining for this video. I don't know.
I mean, getting bonked in the head a lot probably explains why she does a lot of time jumping and skipping everywhere.
You bringing that up reminds me of one of our old Let's Plays when you were just like, well, maybe if you'd stop spinning. I don't know if you remember that one.
Days. No, I know what you're talking about, Zach. I'm the one that made the highlight reel for it that was never actually posted, so...
That is true. I do kind of like that old Let's Play channel.
Yeah, it had some good moments in it.
If the audio quality was significantly better, I would be less embarrassed by it.
Yeah, there was like so many times like where we had like fan noise in the background or something like that, and it just sounds so awful.
That's admittedly my fault because we did most of the recording with my laptop mic, and you can hear my laptop screaming as it records games. So I guess, I mean, we aren't strangers to things going wrong. I know Brandon was once recording, what's it called? Ghost something. Ghost... It's for the PS2.
Ghost Hunter.
Yeah, Ghost Hunter. And like,
that wasn't
the graphics
the
on that
software.
just...
Yeah, it was when
the graphics on that just went wild.
That wasn't the recording software. That was literally the game itself freaking out, and it's either because it's just pushing the PS2 too far, or if my PS2 was old or something. But then it just started having these strange graphical effects where like the textures would expand and explode, and it was honestly like seizure-inducing.
Oh, okay, I remember that now. Yeah. Oh, do you want to see something hilarious?
Oh yeah, I've seen this skip before.
Oh, okay.
I forget how you do it, but I do know you can do it.
All right, let me show you. Let me show you, fellas. The stupidity of this fucking test. And done.
Is this the moment where we say now we're thinking with portals?
Pretty much, yeah. By the way, there's a lot more to that test where you're supposed to go through this hallway full of bullshit and all that stuff, and you're supposed to put portals and all that. But yeah, fuck that. You could just literally just do that and skip it.
Yeah, I've seen people do that before.
Oh, also, this is where I'm at right now. 15 out of 19.
Oh wow, damn, yeah.
Oh,
I mean, there is technically more. There's like
yeah.
You know, there's the... You know, if I want to be topical, we could say, like, we've got more levels in the back rooms. Like I said, the thing.
Oh, Zach, they're making a Backrooms movie.
They are? Oh, wait,
They're
no,
making
yeah,
a
you did tell me about this.
Yeah, they're making a horror movie based on the Backrooms.
Because I think I've seen people making, like, fan games about the back rooms, but
there's been a whole ton of, like, fan games of that. God damn it.
I've only seen random videos. I don't actually know what it is, but...
Dumb bullshit that we're too old to care about anymore.
Yeah. I mean, it's gonna be like the fucking Slender Man movie. It's gonna come out way after everybody stops giving a shit, which I think they already have, and then it's just gonna do poorly. But you know, Slender Man wasn't just something that came out after the fact. From what I've seen of it, it's just a horrible movie. So it's just, what was the point? If you're gonna have something, if you're gonna have something come out so late after a fad, then you at least have to have a script that, you know, reflects on that era, or, you know, says something about it, instead of just making another shitty horror movie. But that's not how the system works. You just need to put something out there so that it can be released, so that it can make some money and then disappear forever. On a somewhat related note, I just recently saw the trailer for the Texas Chainsaw Massacre video game, which looks like it's going to go down kind of the same route that the Friday the 13th game and the Evil Dead game are doing, where it's a, you know, asymmetric multiplayer game where you're a part of a team of people that have to survive. But the gimmick is, of course, is that, you know, in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, yes, Leatherface, the guy wearing the flesh mask with the chainsaw, is going to be in the game, duh, but the kind of the idea of the Texas Chainsaw movie is that the psychopath people could be anyone, so I guess there's probably going to be some sort of gameplay gimmick around not knowing when the people you're playing with are just going to literally stab you in the back and cut off your skin, so.
Oh, so it's part social deduction?
I would imagine. I think so anyway, but it's not quite there yet from what I'm gathering. It's gonna have a beta playing out soon, and then they're gonna release the full game much later this year. But that seems cool. Texas Chainsaw Massacre is my favorite horror film. It's definitely the one that scared me the most. Am I that excited for a video game based off of it? Not really, but I've heard good things about the Evil Dead game. I've heard good things about the Friday the 13th game. I'm willing to give it a shot just to see what it's like. Oh, that's right. I haven't shown Zach the Texas Chainsaw Massacre yet. He needs to see that at some point.
No. Too spooky.
Zach, what, Zach? It's only the movie that terrified me the most, the one that watches horror movies all the time.
I was gonna say, if it terrifies you, imagine what it's gonna do to me! I wanna shit in your bed.
Well, no, we'll just do it at your house, so that way you shit in your bed.
Oh, right, yeah, no. Well, I mean, we always watch on Alec's TV, so we'll shit on Alec's bed.
Yeah, at the same
just
time.
all sit on my bed together, just like cuddle with each other.
Oh, we watch a horror movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, this game is not letting me do the skip, and I'm mad. There we go.
Alec, in the time it took you to do that skip, you probably could have just finished the puzzle.
I mean, honestly, yeah, but I was like, fuck it, I'm dedicated to it. I don't give a shit anymore.
Sure, the skip is more fun.
It's more fun, yeah.
Shows Alec's badassery in video games.
Hell yeah.
Well, we all recently did something. We all recently did something we don't ever do, which it was horrifying that the idea of it came up. But we went to like a bookstore where they had like books that you have to like read. Apparently, this is something that people used to do, and
Gross.
we actually did buy some books, and we've been slowly going through all of them, and we've all actually been enjoying our purchases. Well, okay, I mean, I don't know about Alec. Alec bought the first volume of Berserk, and of course, you know, that's the manga, but things that he's told me about Berserk make me scared, because it sounds...
I mean,
like
I did enjoy it, but like, from what I've heard of just about how Berserk is... Oh, no, fuck off. It gets very intense and very fucked up later on, but the first book I read so far, at least, it hasn't been too bad, but... It's actually been pretty chill, and I was actually surprised. There's actually like a funny side character, which I didn't expect in the Berserk.
Well, I know that in like the Dreamcast PS2 game, Guts' Revenge.
The king is a lie. Okay, sorry.
Is that what's his name? The main character of Berserk.
Guts.
Yeah,
I
Guts.
think.
Yeah, Guts. Yeah.
He has like a fairy friend named Puck in the Dreamcast PS2 game, and I'm wondering if that's related to the manga, or if that's something that the other versions of the series made up. I don't know.
No, he that fairy elf character. Okay, so in Berserk, apparently that's called an elf, not a fairy,
Oh, interesting.
which is
Okay.
weird. But no, yes, he is in that in the manga.
Okay, I'm gonna
He
have
is
to
in
give
the
that a
manga.
shot then, because you know that's one of the things I've been always told to get around to, and I know I should. And they made a lot of video games and different
What?
anime based off of it, but
do you
instead
mean?
for me, what?
What do you mean the
What?
cube is
Physics.
How?
Cube, what are you doing? I've never seen that. Wow. Okay. Sorry, that just caught me off guard.
Not your companion at all.
Yeah. Fuck the cube.
I mean, that's not the one with the hearts on it. So.
I mean, it's not, but yeah.
That's true.
Stop
Well,
looking at me.
instead of reading Berserk, I've been continuing since last year ever since I went to Thailand and found a black market that sold an Astro Boy shirt where I was like, oh right, Astro Boy, that's a thing I've always wanted to check out. Then all of a sudden I'm spending the last year or so reading everything Astro Boy, watching everything Astro Boy, and now I'm at this point where I'm like, you know what? I'm probably just gonna try to read everything the creator Osamu Tezuka made, because I'm like, I like his writing style a lot. I like his very quick episodic stories that are easy for me to digest. And I'm like at this point now where I'm like, am I just gonna do like a Tezuka podcast? Am I just gonna like do a series where I just cover all of this dude's work, because I like it that much that I'm at this point of thinking about reading like a full biography of him and doing like a legit professional podcast about him, which, you know, may exist, but I don't care. I'm gonna do it. Currently, I've been reading one of his most popular works he made for adults, called Blackjack, which is about Blackjack, who's like an unlicensed Japanese doctor who's morally gray, but you know, morally gray means he does the right thing in the end. He has a good heart. And his design is like... Blackjack kind of looks like somebody's OC. Like he's like he has like half black, half white hair. His face is stitched down the middle. He has stitches all over his body, and he wears like a huge black cloak. And he also conducts surgeries with godlike abilities. Like, there's not so much fantasy elements as there is in something like Astro Boy, but there is definitely a lot of, you know, real medical conditions that are slightly exaggerated for dramatic effect. But it leads to some pretty cool, entertaining stories. I think one of the most recent ones I read, which actually got the biggest like amount of interest out of me, is one where it takes place in like America at a super advanced hospital where we are building a hospital that's entirely run by an AI. Like, from the employees to the surgeries to the patient care to the televisions and everything are all run through an AI. And you know, you think that the obvious solution is going to be, oh well, the AI is going to go crazy and somebody's going to have to do something about it. Sort of. One day, the AI, so basically, like, all the patients in the hospital are like, wow, you're such a great doctor. You remind me a lot of Dr. Blackjack, who took care of me once. And the hospital AI is like, huh, I've heard that name a lot recently. Is he really that cool? I mean, he's a human after all. I mean, I'm the best. I'm an AI. And they're like, no, Blackjack's pretty cool. So one day, the people that manage the AI at the hospital wake up, and the AI just goes, I'm sick, I can't work today. And they're like, what?
Oh.
And the AI's like, no, I'm sick. I can't perform the surgeries today. And they're like, what? Why can't you do that? And it's like, I need a doctor to fix me. And they're like, dude, you're a machine. You don't, like, we can just, like, swap a part out. And he's like, no, I'm sick. I need to be cured of my illness. And they keep trying to explain it to him that he's a machine until he goes, okay, so no, I need Dr. Blackjack. I need him to cure my illness, and if not, I will kill every patient in this hospital through lethal injection. Because I can do that for some reason. So, essentially, I mean, what really happens is that I don't think the AI really wants to hurt anybody. It's just trying to make a ruse. But it basically shuts down the hospital and puts all of the patients in anesthesia until Blackjack gets there. And as somebody that has personal experience being under anesthesia, asleep multiple times while people are doing procedures on me, you don't want to be under that shit very long, because it will actually like affect your memory if you're on it. Like, I mean, okay, it has to be a lot. Like, it has to be like constantly over the course of years. But you don't want to be on it that much because it can really mess you up being under it that long. So I feel for those people, because I can only imagine, because, you know, it was like a 48-hour period. But hey, this takes place in the future. Maybe futuristic anesthesia is better. I'm not sure. But anyway, obviously, they try to do their best to contact Blackjack to get there. And Blackjack's, of course, over in Japan. This takes place in the United States. And when they call over to him, Blackjack's assistant is like, oh, he's not here. And they're like, oh, shit. So they keep looking for him. And they find him, like, in France. And they go, hey, you need to fly over now. And Blackjack, who's never one to turn down a patient, is like, yeah, sure, fine. And yes, they even tell him, you have to cure a computer. And Blackjack literally just goes, yeah, sure, whatever. and he flies over in his helicopter and eventually gets there just as there's like minutes remaining before the AI is set to kill all the patients. Blackjack comes in and they're like, dude, you're not like a technician, right? Like, you can't do this. And he's like, no, but I'm a doctor, and you know, the computer clearly wants a doctor, not a technician, so I'm gonna go in there to get it done. And Blackjack reveals he's actually been on the plane ride over reading up on the AI and how it works from, like, you know, media covering it. So he's like, okay, I think I know a bit about how this works. And he goes into the big brain room and he talks to the AI, and the AI's like,
I can't believe
no.
that happened. I can't believe that happened.
Alex,
It was
Alex,
destiny.
Yeah, I was gonna say Alex
Fucking
having
damn
his own issues. Alex having his own issues with AI.
Pretty much.
So Blackjack goes, okay, so I'm gonna put you under, and we're gonna cure you. And the AI's like, well, okay, but... And Blackjack's like, no, you can't have your monitors on monitoring me while I'm doing this. We have to have, you know, you have to trust me as your doctor. And the AI's like, fine, and it fully shuts itself down. And Blackjack's going to switch out its parts. And eventually, after Blackjack has pulled out some of the parts and he's getting ready to apply the last bit of repairs to it based on what he knows of the machine, the other doctors fly in and they go, you did it, you powered it down. And he goes like, well, yeah, I powered it down so I can fix it. And they're like, well, no, now we can replace its brain so that we can, you know, it's now shut down so we can replace his brain so it won't be attacking us anymore. We can make a new one. And Blackjack's like, I gave an oath to my patient that I'm gonna cure it. I'm not just gonna give up on that just because you feel that it's too far gone. You wouldn't give up on a person, right? And of course, the scientists just think that Blackjack's insane. They're like, it's a computer. We need to replace it because it's obviously wonky. And Blackjack just fights them until they are trying to pull him out. He beats the shit out of them. Then they pull out a gun. Blackjack takes out, I think it's not a scalpel. It's like some sort of tiny splinter object that he uses for his surgeries, and he just like stabs this one dude in the eye with it.
Oh my god.
To keep, because they're about to shoot him in the face to keep him from, you know, or like to get him out of there, and he's having his life threatened. So it seems like this dude's fine though. He pulls it out of his eye. I don't know. Like Osamu Tezuka is one of those artists where the dude is just like, he switches back and forth between realistic stakes and cartoon physics on a dime. So anyway, Blackjack's able to kick all of them out, and he finishes operating on the machine, and the machine turns back on and goes, Blackjack, did you defend me from the scientists? And Blackjack's like, how would you know that? You were supposed to be shut down. Did you breach our not having your cameras on to monitor me? And the machine's like, well, no, but I can monitor the whole facility, so I can hear the scientists in the other room right now bitching about you. So Blackjack's like, oh, okay, well, yeah, I fixed you. and you deserve better. Like, whether they shut you down or not, I don't know, but at this point my work here is done. I don't care what happens to you after this. The point is I did the job I was paid for, and they're gonna give me a shit ton of money out of this, so I'm all good to go. And Blackjack then takes off. But the point that Blackjack tries to instill into the scientists that created the AI is that you don't just shut it down because it has one tiny error. You want to figure out what the problem is and fix it. Like, the AI is going to be like a doctor managing the whole hospital. You have to take care of it the same way you would take care of anything else. So that's kind of what's going on there. Like, that's a typical story in Blackjack for you. That's one of the longer ones in the volume I'm currently reading. But yeah, Blackjack has to diagnose a computer that's sick. Which was, honestly, it was kind of a cool concept for a story. And, a lot of the other ones are more just about, like, doctors that are underappreciated that Blackjack's trying to prove to the other physicians that they have what it takes, or a kid that has polio that's walking a long distance to, try to spread awareness for polio research and helping kids that have polio. And Blackjack's like stalking the kid the whole time, and the kid doesn't want this doctor following him around because the kid thinks that the doctor's taking pity on him, and he doesn't want any help. He wants to show that he can do this walk by himself. And the twist is that this kid read a book that about this kid with poor legs that inspired him to do the walk. And the twist is that the kid that had the poor legs was Blackjack when he was a kid. So Blackjack's like, no, I've done this walk before. I'm not gonna help you, but I can at least give you tips on how to pace yourself so you won't die. So that was a really sweet little story. Like, there's just a mix between really sweet, simple stories and weird sci-fi stories, since, like everything Tezuka, it technically takes place in the future when he feels like it. Now, really compelling characters, interesting story, but Zach, I think Zach would like some of the storylines, but I don't think I could recommend Blackjack to Zach or some of you listening, because despite the fact that it has like Looney Tunes level cartoon designs and cartoon physics, it has incredibly realistic and grotesque drawings of real disorders and surgeries. Like, when Blackjack's taking people apart, it shows like what a doctor usually sees when they're doing this, which is awesome that Tezuka did that much research, but it would all make a lot of people obviously fucking sick. But I'm also going to try watching the OVA and the anime, since of course I'm going to try to cover all of it, and I would imagine that wouldn't be as grotesque, but we'll see. But yeah, that's what I've been up to. I've been reading manga and watching anime by the guy that created Astro Boy, and realizing that, wow, this guy was like super versatile and really cool, and I kind of want to study him because I feel like he had a lot to say about, like, a lot of his messages still hold up today. A lot of his characters are still cool. There's still episodes of Astro Boy, like the 80s show and the old 60s show, that still work despite the cheesy animation. But is that to say that all of Tezuka's work holds up? Well, no. I can't tell quite. Like, I think this is what he was going for, but there is an episode of Blackjack where one of the scientists that is just like a background character is black, and it looks like blackface.
Oh no.
It's just
usually
like
tends to look like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like when Japanese artists do it, or how do you mean?
Yeah, like I watched like the first 2 or 3 episodes of Promised Neverland, and the black character in that she's not like blackface, but she's got like big lips and a big nose.
Yeah, this character was like, their skin was pitch dark black, and they had like, like white identified lips, and it was just like, Tezuka, this was like made in the 70s, dude. What the fuck? But you said Promised Neverland, and I'm sure that came out way after all this shit.
Oh yeah, I did. So like, it's not the most, it like looks better than a lot, but like, as far as I'm aware, like a lot of animes, whenever they draw black people, it's just like, oh, don't do that.
It's very awkward.
Yeah.
That's not to say there's never any good looking black anime characters. Soul Eater actually has a really good a really well designed one. Unfortunately, they don't get to do a whole lot in the story, which is a shame because I thought their weapon was cool. Also, I'm never believing Brandon again when he says he doesn't have much to say about anything.
He has like all the things to say about everything in the universe. I swear to God.
The things that I get passionate about, I get deeply passionate about. When I was a kid, it was Sonic, and when I've gotten older, it's been Animorphs. It's been, I guess, Osamu Tezuka stuff. Now, I didn't even expect to get this far in. I was expecting just to like watch some of Astro Boy and be like, oh, this show's kind of neat, but it's outdated, and then move on. Instead, I'm watching the entire show because I like all of it. And I'm just like, what the fuck? Why? And yeah, just like with the blackface stuff, there's of course episodes of the 80s Astro Boy where, Astro goes to an island and there's weird native stereotypes. I think that happens like twice in that show. Because that was just a thing. Like, when I would show this shit to my friends, they'd be like, I mean, dude, nobody was immune to this stuff. You can't expect everybody to be super omega progressive. Sometimes it was just the way some stuff was portrayed in media. And is it right? Well, duh. No. But at the end of the day, you just have to take the good with the bad and see what's good that's there and take that. And not that you don't want to acknowledge the things in media that suck, that don't hold up anymore, but,
Yeah, you just
Zach,
have to be able to.
Zach, you should
You have
talk.
to be able to. I mean, I totally get you when it comes to like when you get obsessive, you get really obsessive. I mean, I bet you guys can already guess where I'd be going when talking about what I've been obsessed with.
I have no idea what
But,
you're
like-
talking about, Zach. No fucking clue.
No, what is it, Zach?
I love Community.
Yep.
Oh,
I don't know if
thought-
I've made it clear.
Okay, fine.
Well, I mean, like, I guess Yokai Watch a little bit too, but I feel like that's less interesting to talk about. And I know
Well, okay.
Yokai Watch fans are gonna be annoyed by that, but
Yes, so for a few years, Zach was
that's what
talking...
shocks me the most is that it's
Yeah.
still going. I usually
Yeah.
switch to obsessions very quickly.
A few years ago, Zach started talking about how much he started watching Community and finished the show and talks about how much he loves it and was constantly trying to talk to Alec and I and trying to show us his favorite episodes, but he was also like, well, okay, some of the jokes wouldn't work if you don't fully understand this part of the continuity. So that was, me basically taking that as an excuse to be like, oh, okay, so we don't have to watch it. Because,
Oh, yeah, pretty much.
we wouldn't understand that. So, eventually Zach showed us a few episodes of Community here and there, and I was like, okay, that is actually pretty clever and funny. And I was like, maybe I should watch it at some point. And then finally in 2023, a number of years after Zach first brought up Community, I finally started watching it. Zach and I decided we were going to watch it together because Zach wants to obviously he wants any excuse to watch it.
Yes.
And
I love that show.
we're about 3/4 of the way through season 2. And yeah, I hate to admit it, but the show that is well loved and reviewed well is also a show that is good that I like. So go figure.
Sometimes I'm right about things. I'm not right often. I did kind of build up DuckTales 2017 a little bit too much, but I do that whenever something's my current obsession. But like, I don't know how Community lasted this long in my mind. Like I said, usually if like something's an obsession, it's like a flash in a pan. It's just like, this is the thing I'm interested in now, and then like 2 weeks from now, it's like, oh no, it switched to this. But Community has always stuck out. Alex losing his fucking mind.
I don't know if you guys knew what I was trying to do there.
Alex trying to make all of the audience throw up.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
But I
Yeah,
love
I mean,
Community. I love
yeah.
its characters.
I mean, Community is a great excuse to compare to, say, the recent Scooby-Doo reboot, Velma, which we watched at least 3 episodes into, because both Community and Velma have focuses on meta humor, where it's all about, making a reference to the tropes that other TV shows like them do and playing around with those tropes. The difference is that Velma rather obnoxiously, like it's a subtle thing. it's the particular way lines are written. In Community, it makes sense because there's literally a character in Community who's autistic, who's obsessed with TV shows, that views life through the lens of TV shows to help understand the way the world works. While in Velma, it's just, it feels like every other character in the show has a line at some point where they go, hey, this is just like that thing in TV shows when, and it's not clever or funny, it's just they're pointing out something, and it feels very hacky.
Yeah, I mean, at first our views on Velma were controversial in that we watched 1 and 2 and we were like, it's bad, but it doesn't deserve the hate the internet gets. And then one day, we couldn't decide what to watch, so as punishment, we watched the 3rd episode of Velma.
I mean,
and it was a
somehow-
suitable punishment. I mean, yeah, Alec did.
Yeah, it's the reason I
mention
recommended
it,
it.
but-
I don't know why, but I'm kind of glad we did, or I did, because then we watched it and we were just like, yeah, I'm kind of glad now we just hate this show. Now we don't want to see more of it.
Yep. I mean, okay, I was already kind of out of Velma a bit when it had Daphne kiss Velma to help cure her panic attack. And I was just like, I mean, okay, it's weird mystical vision panic attack that has foreshadowing, but at the same time, it's still, as somebody like Alec and I have both experienced panic attacks within the last few years, and having it solved by being kissed by the person you have a crush on would probably put you closer to death, like not actually help you in any way. Because your heart rate would go faster, I would think, but that's just me.
I mean, I guess if you're being kissed by the one you love and you're not expecting it, I don't know.
I mean, I guess I just found it weird. Like, but like, well, because that's a lot of Vilma, right? Is that a lot of it was just like, not even, half the time it wasn't even like super unfunny or super bad. It was more just like the writers would make decisions that would make you just go, what? What? No, wait. Okay, that was your twist, or oh, that was your setup for a joke, and it was just like a lot of us just being confused watching it.
Yeah.
I think episode 3 was the worst. Like 1 and 2, it was like, eh. I mean,
heard
okay,
it's
the
bullshit,
beginning
but,
of
like,
episode 1 is awful, and it's terrible, and it's uncomfortable as hell.
Yes.
Like, I felt like I was like, I wouldn't say enjoying it, but able to tolerate it for the rest of episode 1 after that. Episode 2 kind of was a little bit amusing. Yeah, as stupid as it is for Fred to suddenly have a Hitler mustache, that got me to actually kind of laugh a little bit.
Yeah, it was a little funny.
Yeah, it was okay.
But
Yeah,
like, nothing in episode 3 was amusing, and I absolutely loathe the whole least vulnerable. I'm like, that's hammering it in really, really hard.
Yeah.
So Zach, explain that a bit. What was the least vulnerable thing?
So it's about Daphne's mothers. They're both cops, and okay, this is another thing I got to bring up. The show tries to make fun of tropes in the way Brandon said, but sometimes they bring up a trope, and I'm glad I'm not the only one who noticed this, because I'm not the most knowledgeable in tropes, but even but like, there's like one time when Velma's like, the only good stereotype of lesbians in modern TV is that they're good at solving mysteries, and I'm like, is that a thing? Has that ever been a thing? Has that ever been a trope about lesbians? I mean, maybe I'm just unknowledgeable. Maybe I'm not knowledgeable in lesbians, but I don't think a trope of lesbians in modern TV is that they're good at solving mysteries. But like, anyway, that's a completely different topic. So there's the whole thing with the teenagers. They're having their brains scooped out for a really stupid reason that we looked up, and thank God we did not watch the rest of that show to figure out what the twist was.
Yeah.
That is really stupid. Something's really stupid in film, no wait, but... So yeah, they're having a self-defense class, which then turns into a self-defense tournament, where the winner will be declared the least vulnerable. Which is supposed to go along...
Which basically amounts to giving a reason for Velma and Daphne to fight each other because of the emotions they're holding back.
Yeah, and they're seeing which one of them is the least emotionally vulnerable as well as the least physically vulnerable. And it's so hackneyed and so forced, and just that phrase that they're fighting in self-defense tournament to be the least vulnerable. I can't explain explicitly why, but it makes me very, very angry. Maybe irrationally so, but still.
Yeah, I remember you being very vocal whenever they would say that line. It wasn't really having the same effect on me, but I similarly was just not very engaged and kind of annoyed by everything that was going on in that episode.
I think I hated it just because it's a very bad writing trope. Might be what... It might have also hit me on a personal level, but I can't explain that. Mostly because I'm just like, I don't know what on a personal level would have annoyed me about that, but... It's just... And also, like... Velma and Daphne are, like, fucking making students bleed during this self-defense tournament.
Yeah, it's like gory for the sake of being gory and bloody. It was just fucking weird.
That's throughout the entire show, is that it's really aggressively violent in a way that just feels weird. Like it doesn't feel like has a purpose. It just is. Like, I guess it's supposed to be funny that it's so gratuitous, but it was just kind of off-putting.
It's an adult show, so it needs gore, I guess, is the thinking with a lot of these animated adult shows.
But sure, I mean, like, you can show gory violence during, like, the characters in the school getting picked off, but Velma just throws it in. Out of nowhere. Like, there's just characters in the back, like, getting their arms chopped off, and you're just like, what the fuck is happening in this show?
My most hated form of humor is gore humor. I hate it with a burning passion. And that's probably because I grew up in, like, the old edgy Newgrounds era, where it felt like if they wanted a joke, they just threw in somebody being decapitated or something.
Pretty much.
Just to me, it's the laziest form of humor.
Oh yeah, I mean,
like,
exactly. You and I both grew up in that era where the word of the day was edgy.
Yeah.
For everything.
And, like, honestly, like, I complain about some edge stuff, but there's some other edgy stuff that kind of still appeals to me to this day, even if I should know better. Like, I can still enjoy, like, some aspects of South Park, but whenever it gets into, like, the gore humor or some of the things that didn't age all that well.
Yeah. I'm getting surgery to be a dolphin now.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember when I had my South Park phase and I watched, like, over 10 seasons. I first watched that and didn't really, like, get it, but my uncle's been watching through the show over and over again. So when I saw that and saw what they were doing, I was like, oh no. It's also really weird and uncomfortable for me because South Park was kind of the one that introduced me to the concept of transgender people. But, like, I kind of never got malice out of it at first. I was just like, oh, okay, transgender people are this. And I won't judge them for it. But then when I rewatched certain of those episodes, I'm like, ugh, oh dear.
Yeah. So that was your introduction to the concept
Yes.
of transgender people? Okay. So, I mean, you know, my back history is, I mean, I've been in a weird situation in my life where I've had personal experience with it, like, constantly. Like, well, not constantly, but just almost in, like, the most perfect way possible. Like, in high school, I had a friend who came out as gay, and him and I were bullied for him coming out as gay, and I had that experience. And then in college, I had a friend that came out as transgender and actually saw them transition throughout a good chunk of my college career. So I got to understand what, you know, a lot of, like, the culture, what that's like for that kind of person. And so, yeah, I sort of, yeah. But when you go to college, Zach, that's kind of what it is. You, especially if you're like me and you hang out around the LGBT clubs, and or just in general, you're going to see a lot more progressive stuff on college campuses.
Well, you see, it's because the college campuses are turning people to the left.
Yeah,
Or,
that
you know, it
bullshit,
could just be
yeah.
that college is a opportunity to meet new people. Then when you meet new people, you realize, oh, I was ignorant and didn't understand, but now I've met these people and now I understand, and now I hate them less, or well, not hate them at all. Or at least that's how
Oh
I
my
usually
God.
describe it, because, you know,
Yeah.
because there's one person I watched through the YouTube shorts, and they talked about that, like, how these people are like, oh, colleges are turning people liberal. And then he was just like, no, it's just when you get an opportunity to meet people that you've only heard things about, and then you realize the things you've heard about are wrong, you go,
Yep.
oh, okay, and then people have a change of perspective. Of
You
course,
meet colleges attract people from all over the world because obviously you got tons of exchange students, so it's a great place for learning about different perspectives. Just, you know, it costs your entire your rights and your will to live to you know, go to one.
And your
Uh,
mental health.
Yeah, well, yes. I mean my example was more because I seriously needed to go to a therapist and I was working myself to death on my college TV show, and that was a problem, and that I should have gotten help for at the time. But I at least look back on that experience now and see how I'm not going to make those mistakes again. But even outside of that, even with that happening, I can say very easily that I got some truly fantastic experience out of my own college experience, not just for my career, but also I met some of my best friends through college, through meeting people that have the same career interests I do. And when you also meet somebody that wants to like write TV or make video content or movies and all that kind of stuff, it makes you it helps you develop confidence in your own life choices. So
what's it like to have confidence in your own life choices?
Yeah, I know, right?
well, I mean, I still don't
I mean,
quite know. I mean, Zach, I know you feel that way too, where you don't know where you're going. But the thing I've learned over time, talking to people, from people in their 40s to people our age to people even younger, is that nobody knows what the fuck they're doing. They just kind of they make a decision and they go in that path, and then they hope that it takes them in a good direction and they go from there. Like, but I've met people much older than me that are just still like, yeah, I don't know, man. I just kind of things happened and this is what I'm doing now. But I'm happy I at least made a choice.
Yeah, you gotta make some choice. Some choice is better than none. I feel like Alec hasn't ever gotten to speak throughout this entire thing.
I'm gonna be honest, I've been
What's
so
been on your
distracted
mind,
with, like,
Alec?
speedrunning that, like, I just, like...
Yeah, okay.
You've been zoning out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alec's been in the zone.
Come on. There we go.
Come on, you can do it, Alec.
I mean, I'm legit very close to beating this game, by the way, guys. I'm, like, that fucking
Yeah.
close.
I didn't
Really?
actually think we'd
Yeah.
beat this game today. No, he's pretty
Holy
close
shit.
to the end.
Wow.
I thought it would take us 2 parts to do this, but
Okay.
I guess
It's
we might
just-
as well do it in one, then if Alec's capable of it.
Right. Well, because as I mentioned in our Half-Life playthrough, my experience with these games was through Alec and Zach letting me borrow the orange box for PS3.
Oh my god, that's making me dizzy.
Yeah, I'm gonna stop.
So I beat Portal once through the orange box, really liked it, but that was like mid 2000s sort of, or a little after that, so I don't really remember a lot about Portal besides just the basics.
I mean,
But
for
I
me,
remember it being a good game.
I was about to say, like, I, for some reason, obsessed with this game, as you could probably guys see why, or, like, from my gameplay. I don't know why, for whatever reason,
Yeah,
I
it's
just
like-
liked playing this game, and I just liked the Portal aspect, and, like, I don't know. It was just so cool to me, and I just kept playing it so many times just because, like, I guess to be fair, that was, like, during around the time we didn't have much other games either, so, like, I would just play this a lot of the time, but, yeah. But no, yeah, this is a really good game, and the sequel is good too. But I think I kind of agree with some people in that the sequel is kind of just most of the time the puzzle is just where do I find portally spot, and then if I find the portally spot, it's usually the solution to like the whole thing, and it's just like okay. While in this game, it does feel like you have to think a bit more, like where you have to place your portals down.
Right,
Yeah,
and also Portal 1's much shorter, and I can see how the speedrunning tricks in it make it a lot of fun to run through.
Yeah, I think that's just another reason why I like playing it too. It's just like speed running through it is just fun for me. Get fucked. Fucked. I mean, obviously, I don't know how to do like proper speedrunning stuff. This is just like from me, like just memorizing the game and stuff like that, and like from so many times I played this throughout this game. So yeah. Okay, can I get that one? Yeah, okay.
You know, it's stuff like this is. I mean, this might be weird for us to say, considering I think almost all of our playthroughs except Resident Evil 4, which we would have liked to continue tonight, but we couldn't.
Yeah.
I think like most of our playthroughs so far have all been like blind playthroughs of some sort, but like my favorite kinds of playthroughs are the ones where like someone is really passionate about a game and they just play it with like a certain expertise. And I've been trying to find that with like certain Let's Plays. Just, you know, I usually, whenever there's a game I'm interested in, I want to watch someone who knows what they're doing play it. Instead, I find mostly blind playthroughs, which I don't always hate, but sometimes I'm just like, I want to see someone like be badass.
Well, I mean, I'm trying to attempt to be badass here, but I'm fucking up right now.
I mean, Alec, you're being a lot more badass than most of the playthroughs I watch.
Okay, I'll take that.
That's what I was
Although, to be
trying
fair,
to do
like-
with the. That's what I was trying to do with the Resident Evil 4 playthrough, because I've played that game at least 6 times.
But I mean, like I worry about my Resident Evil 7 performance, but then as I watch other people do like blind playthroughs of stuff, I'm just like, you know what, I feel a little bit better.
Zach, I've seen so many.
Oh, I've
worse
seen so much worse
playthroughs of
too,
Resident Evil
Zach, trust
7
me.
than ours.
Yeah, like holy fuck, Zach, you have no idea.
I mean, that's me. That's my perfectionism taking over, as always.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah, I mean, I won't mention any particular Let's Play channels to not cancel us or myself, but I've definitely seen a lot of way more popular YouTube channels that are doing 7, and they can barely even get past the chainsaw stuff at the beginning, and,
Yeah,
and
it's
a lot of it is.
pathetic.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it, Alec, is really just like stuff the game is clearly signposting that they're just bad at it. Like they should give the controller to somebody else, but they don't.
I'm willing to accept like some bad gameplay, but at some point it just gets annoying.
Yeah, it gets repetitive and it
And-
gets hard to watch because you're getting distracted from the commentary because all you can think
Yeah.
about is how much better you could do at it.
Right.
I mean, then you comment how much better you could do on it, and then it makes the video more popular through the algorithm, and then it turns out that them being shit is actually them being good at making a video.
Yeah.
Again, it's that negative feedback. It's what really gets you the views.
Oh, you know what? I think I'm supposed to. Oh, there we go. Whee.
I did not think we could get through this much of Portal already. Oh my
I'm gonna be
gosh.
honest. I'm surprised
Yeah.
too. I'm surprised I gotten to this point. Holy shit. I thought it would take me a bit longer than this, but I guess not.
Yeah, I've never been good at puzzle games. I wasn't able to beat Portal. I got stuck in that one area with a bunch of turrets and the. Oh my gosh,
Hello,
this is
hello,
the final
endgame.
boss.
Here's the
Oh,
final
God.
boss.
Was it worth it? Because despite your
Yeah, I got stuck
Alright.
in that room with all the turrets. It's like right after the fire. I don't know if it's right after the fire, but it's pretty close to it. It's a room with a bunch of turrets, and then there's that thing that shoots a laser ball in the middle that spins around. I kept getting shot down by turrets.
Yeah.
And then I see how everyone else do it, and I'm just like, oh, I'm just stupid.
Time out for a second. That wasn't
Yeah, that's the other big thing that annoys me about Let's Players is that they play the game poorly and then they get mad at the game over it. And I'm like, no, you just didn't know which button to push because you didn't pay attention for 5 fucking seconds.
Yeah, that's like one of my biggest pet peeves ever when watching people. It's like if they do shit like that, like not paying attention. It's like, oh my god, it's not hard. It's not hard. It really isn't.
I at the very least ask that people edit shit, which is why I
Right.
find editing in my playthroughs to be the most important aspect.
Right.
Unless it's like keeping busy, but that's because the point isn't it's an actual playthrough, it's just us bullshitting around. And I guess some people could say that about certain other very popular channels, but like, it's okay if we do it, and it's bad if other people do it, okay? We're awesome. No,
I mean, that isn't to say that I don't have some regrets. Like, as much as, you know, Conquer deserved the beating we gave it, there is still gameplay I look back at it and be like, oh, I was really, like, blind and stupid to not understanding that, which was right in front of me a few times during that playthrough. I mean, you know, you can only blame the game not telegraphing things so much before it really is just your fault. Like, I bitch about these other playthroughs, but, you know, I'm not saying we haven't made mistakes. I'm just saying that I've seen worse. And I'm okay with that on some level, that we, you know, we're a little better. We have something to look up to in terms of our own quality. Whatever that means in the end. For a Let's Play channel on YouTube.
I don't know. I try not to tune my own horn because it usually comes back to bite me in the ass eventually, but I'd like to think we're a more fair... I'd like to think we're a more fair channel.
Why?
You know, like, I'd like to think that if we mess up, we will usually, like, mention that. It's like, oh, I'm just dumb. Or, like, we'll edit out a major fuck-up, and then it usually goes with us just going, like, like, you know, we talk about Conquer being bullshit, but there is that one part where I just flat out wasn't paying attention when I took over for Brandon because it was, like, 2 in the morning, and he was nearly about to pass out. And so I was just like, yeah, let me show Brandon how to do this, and then I get completely lost, like, immediately.
Oh my god, guys, I did it. I hit her with the missile. Oh my fucking god, it was not that hard.
Congratulations.
Holy shit, speedrun tactics.
I can't believe I could do it. Whoa, game. Game physical. Whoa.
There's going to be a lot less conversation and a lot more killing.
But, you know, one day I will make my own badass LP, and I already know what it's going to be about because I've been saying it for 14 years.
Yeah, you should, like, actually do that.
Yeah, but I keep thinking I need more practice, but, like, you know, it's been like 10 years. Maybe I've had enough practice by now.
Also, if you guys were wondering why I went whoa like that, is because I just got, like, intense, like, physics happen from this portal.
Yeah, I saw that. I was like, how did that happen?
Yeah, that was weird.
Alright.
In phase 4, I'm fine.
I'm just gonna bring it up a bit higher, I swear to god.
Curious about your behavior.
Okay. Hit by the missile.
Yeah, I mean, I think we should do an actual introduction video where we talk about these things, but I'm just gonna bring this up now because I want to fill in the dead space, goddammit. My own Let's Play philosophy is I like showing off games that I think would be interesting to be seen played. Whether because it would introduce people to a new game, or because the game itself is interesting but does not deserve to actually be played by anybody else.
That you deserve to be tortured by it, or what do you mean?
Yes. Well, I mean, not that I deserve to be tortured by it, just more that I'm willing to go through the torture in order to provide entertainment.
Okay.
One day I'll grow brave enough to do Willy Beamish, maybe.
Zach.
Oh my god, that's
I know.
I'm just gonna say it. Everybody out there, go watch the streams where Super Great Friend played Willy Beamish. Just watch him suffer.
Yeah. Like, Super Great Friend can't suffer alone. So other people have to play bad games too.
Why?
Because sometimes a bad game is worth seeing.
By that logic, we should all be like huddling the angry video game nerd and being like, "It's okay, we can do it too. It's okay, buddy." I mean, if you look at James Rolfe now and like the newest episodes, it's just, yeah, he's still at it.
He probably does need a pat on the back.
Yeah.
Just casually being in the game, by the way.
I've heard things have improved, but I mean, I wouldn't want to be still doing that job that many fucking years later.
Yeah. But like, no, I want to show off games that are interesting regardless of their quality. And to be fair, maybe Willy Beamer's just not really one of those. And like you said, Super Great Friend already did a good enough playthrough.
Yeah.
I just wanted to be special. No, but like one day I legitimately want to show Tulip. Even though the reason I grew interested in Tulip is I think there's already a good playthrough of it. But I still want to do Tulip for my own channel. Because I think that is a legitimately interesting but also super fucking frustrating looking game.
Yep.
But I will still do it because I think it fits my channel. It's weird. But it has its own charm to it. A charm that no one else should experience for themselves because it will drive them mad.
Also, there's an RTX GPU right there on the bottom left. There's like references to the
Oh, okay. I was
graphics
wondering
card
what
because
that
of
was
ray
doing
tracing.
there.
Oh, well, that's nice that they threw that in there. All right.
Yeah.
Shell got out and happily ever after.
Yeah.
Yep.
There was no sequel whatsoever.
Well, there is Portal 2, but didn't they also make like that aperture thing?
So yeah, if you've made it this far, I don't know how, but thank you.
Yeah. Thanks.
Thank you for...
This was just a part of us expunging some stress after another recording failure.
We've just had too many of those lately.
Yeah, and when you're when you're our age, you don't want that to happen anymore. You have so little time,
it's
and
a
you
frustrating fucking mess.
Yeah. But if you got anything out of having this on as background noise, I appreciate you listening. And we will hopefully see you again when we decide to do whatever the hell we're doing next, based on all of our recording issues.
We'll do something nice and simple, or we could just start doing that old school thing where we just point the camera at the TV and be like, "There, now try."
Yeah, so we had like no bullshit happening. Yeah.
Yes, join us next time when we play Sonic 2 with a VHS cam pointed at a CRT.
I mean, we do have an old like camera, but with like that recorded on this mini cassette stuff, but I don't know where it is.
People could watch me play Sonic 2 and get a game over at the first boss.
Yeah.
Zach, you've beaten the boss at this point without taking a hit.
Have.
You're fine. You can let that era of your life behind. But now the world knows. So you've been docked, Zach.
That's fine.
Oh no.
I beat God Hand, but got a game over in the first boss of Sonic 2. I mean, to be fair, I beat God Hand on easy mode, which I mean, at that point, that was still the hardest thing I've ever played.
Yeah.
Anyway, we should finally let this end. We should just hold it under the water. Just let it die.
Thank you for joining us for our complete LP of Portal. Hooray!
I mean, pretty much.
We finished another Let's Play. Good job, Alec.
Yay!
We
See,
can
I
add
told you
another to the list.
I could do things.
Yep.
We knew you could do
all
things.
Right.
It's just we want to do all the things.
So Alec, next time we'll do Portal 2, but you have to play your guitar while you're speedrunning it.
Oh my fucking god. Holy shit. It's been a while, but...
Oh, wow.
Alright, anyway, take care, guys.
All right. By the way, yes, I hope this made good background noise. It probably will for me.